Hi, I am Honza and I would like to tell you a few things about my favorite sport, which is billiard. I start with a legend about the beginnings of the sport, then I move to descriptions of balls, tables, cues and other equipments which are commonly used. I also say something about rules, fouls and I present you main disciplines of billiard, but also some less known. In addition, I perform some demonstrations of the games on our family's billiard table. At the end, I describe the real history of the sport. Once upon a time in old land called England, there lived a certain merchant named Bill. One day, there was grim and rainy weather and Bill was bored, since no customer came by. To provide himself with some means of entertainment, he grabbed his round vase, too common at the time, and frustrated threw them towards his desk. The vase began to run across the table, bouncing from the wall and bumping into each other. Intrigued, Bill started flicking the vase to get them moving again. After a while, however, his fingers were hurting. That's when he noticed an old wooden yard. A pole used to measure cloth. He grabbed it and used it to prop the vase instead. Thus billiard or Bill's yard was born. What is billiard? Today there are three main types of cue sports: pool, snooker and carom ball. Carom ball is played on pocketless table, pool and snooker on pocketed tables. The subtle difference between pool and snooker is most obvious in the size of the table. However, some rules also vary. For a games of pool you need bigger balls as well. Billiard balls. Each billiard discipline has different types of balls. Snooker is played with the smallest balls on biggest table. Balls having a diameter of 52.4 mm. There are 22 balls in total in a game of snooker. 15 reds, 6 colored balls and white cue ball. The white cue ball is the one to be struck with the cue. Pool balls are a bit bigger with the diameter of 57.2 mm. Several types of balls can be used in a game of pool. The 8-ball balls and 9-ball balls, which however can be during 8-ball play as well. The biggest balls are used in carom ball game, with their diameter is 61.5 mm. There are two main types of balls in carom ball. One called simply balls and other being free cushion balls, which weighs more than other types of billiard balls. The balls are issued with variety of colors: white, red and yellow, or more complex with red marking. Free cushion balls are usually dotted. If we play with 4 balls, the fourth one is blue. Billiard tables. The shape of billiard tables as known today came about during 19th century. For carom ball in two sizes, bigger being used for competitions, smaller for exhibitions, all however having ratio size 2:1, comprising 4 main parts: steel construction, holding the table together, slate desk very hard and covered with cloth to reduce friction, wooden rails with the rubber layers for better bouncing of the balls. Carom ball cue. Carom ball cue today consists of 2 parts that can be transported more comfortably to competition and screwed together on the spot. The parts are called butt and shaft, respectively, to their position when held. The shaft consists of a ferrule for added hardness or leather tip to reduce impact on the balls. The cue also differ in realization of the screw, which can be either wooden or metal. What makes The biggest difference on the shaft is the wooden that it is made of, as some kinds of wooden can bend more easily. The price of cues varies widely from 1,000 to 100,000 crowns. However, above the 10,000 crowns, any improvements are usually irrelevant to the game itself, often paying for fancy but jeweled little gems or artistic ornaments. Another important attribute of a shaft to consider is the diameter. Most common in technical discipline is diameter of 11.5 mm. For free cushion or wider, shaft is used from 12 to 13 mm in diameter. The cue can come along with two different shafts, one standard and one wider. The leather tips vary in softness of the leather, professionals preferring harder layer leather, comprising several types of leather. To protect the cue from any splits, the bottom has a rubber end. Some cues can also mount extension used in games on bigger tables. Rules. The main goal of Carom is performing Carom with your balls. Caroming is the act of making your cue ball visibly touch the another balls. Player continues until miss or foul. Fouls. We consider following action foul. Player is pushing more than one ball with his cue. No limb of currently playing player is touching the floor. Player is pushing the balls around by other means than the cue. Balls are staying in forbidden areas. Playing with other ball than the cue ball, pushing the ball out the table. Carom disciplines. Historically, there was just a free game, also called straight rail. However, when the players were getting better, they made rules to make the game more difficult. In the free play, it was allowed to play in the corner. This resulted in the rule that restrict playing in the corner. Flow that so-called rail news was discovered, also called America. Rail news involved moving balls just a few centimeters on each count, keeping them close together such that the news can be replicated again and again. Inter-game was created as a reaction to this technique. Straight rail. Straight rail is the simplest competitive discipline. The only forbidden area are corners. Balls have to leave the corner in 2 turns. Bulk line. The tables is divided into bulk lines, and the number of caroms within one bulk line is limited. Otherwise, all rules of straight rail apply. The number of bulk lines differs with table size. Indirect game. Indirect game, also called band game, is played in free version 1C to 3C, the number signifying how many times has the cue ball hit the railings before it hits the last ball. 4-ball Carom. 4-ball Carom, also called 10-fold Carom, is a variation of Carom Billiard that was created in the Czech Republic. It is played with 2 white balls, an extra blue ball and red ball. 4-ball Carom can be played by multiple players, as a red serves as a cue ball common for all players. Player scores a point by hitting on any other 3 balls with the cue ball, a carom of all 3 object balls in one shot, however scores 10 points. Score is doubled by hitting a cushion before hitting any of other balls for a total of either 2 or 20 points in one shot. Russian game. Russian game is an altered indirect game with wooden pieces where both players have a ball assignment. The goal being to indirectly hit opponent's ball. The opponent's ball then has to knock over the wooden pieces. This game was originally played by Tsar officers. Another equipment. Q-tip trimmer. Q-tip trimmer is for trimming the tip of cue stick. Chalk. This is a chalk. It is applied the tip of cue stick. It increases the tip friction. It contains the diamond particles. Billiard glove. Billiard glove is used to decrease the friction between the hand and shaft. It is covered only thumb, index finger and middle finger. Historical development. First mention of billiard came from 12th century England. Bill meant ball and yard has been measuring unit and measuring device. In beginnings, billiard was played outside on yards, surrounded with railings. There was little arches on the ground, and players had to run their balls through them. To strike the balls, they used specially curved balls. Later, billiard moved to tables. However, the principle of the arches and balls remained intact. That is all I wanted to say at show. I hope you have enjoyed it. Thank you for your attention and bye bye. Player pushing more than one ball his cue. Dovolím.
Ne, stop, znova. Player is pushing more than one ball with his cue. Pomalu, pěkně, rytmicky. Jo. Nikam nespěcháme, už je to stejně číte.
Pushing the ball out the table. To tam, ještě řekni, že ne, Fano.
Ne, ale to je jedno, je to tam close enough. Je to close enough. Já už odmítám s tím cokoliv dál zmínit.
5:31. OK. Mimochodem 5:31 odpoledne zhruba, tak nějak jsme k tomu zhruba sedali, že? Venku se nám rozednívá.